Hello, and welcome back to another Monday edition of the Bamsters News. It's Monday, June 24th, and this is our weekend roundup. Hopefully by this point you've already had your wake-up juice, and I'm going to jump right into it. Well, by this point, if you're watching the video on Facebook or YouTube, and why wouldn't you be, because that's where we posted it, you might notice some shiny, action-packed, space-faring combat. Well, at least I hope that's how it's coming across, because I haven't actually played the game since PAX West, and I'm going to jump into that right after I finish recording this audio. Rebel Galaxy is free to own on the Epic Games Store right now, and will be until the 27th of June. And this is, it's going to be a single-player game, space flying combat, story missions to go through. As mentioned, I think previously on the show, I checked this game out at PAX West last year and really dug it. At the time, all I had a chance to do really was just play some of the space combat. So this will give me an opportunity to look at some of the story and dialogue. But at least from what I saw last year, it's a solid feeling game as far as flight and combat. It was something that I really enjoyed and had fun with. We'll see how the story turns out, and I believe it's got quite a bit of like a space cowboy type musical soundtrack going on with it too. I'll look out for that as I'm playing. You may be able to hear some of that real low in the background. We usually try to keep some of the game audio going, so that may be on here. But Epic Game Store issues aside, if that's something that doesn't bother you, or you don't mind just going and signing up to get a whole bunch of free games from them while you still can the rest of this year, Rebel Galaxy is definitely one I think I'd recommend for folks, especially if you enjoy any kind of space flight sims and combat and stuff like that. Should be a fun one to play through. So from something new, let's jump back to something a little bit old. Well, I guess 10 years qualifies, right? MineCraftCeption, how about that? Minecraft player has found a way to recreate Minecraft as a 2D playable version of the game inside a chest inside of Minecraft. So you run up to this chest inside Minecraft, you open the chest up, and you're met with a 2D version of the game, which you can then navigate through. You can go left and right on the screen, you can break different blocks that you encounter. Then there's an inventory system that you can go into. You can go into the crafting bench that's in there, and you can craft different things. Like you can take wood and break it into planks, into sticks, and start building your pickaxe and all that. So it's just really cool that somebody has found a way to do this. It reminds me of another mod I saw way back that folks were working on recreating The Legend of Zelda, the first game for the NES, inside of Minecraft, and it looked really good. The interview I saw is, if you search for it, I'm sure you can find it on YouTube, but it was basically somebody was interviewing the developers, and they took him into the background area, which they called the lab, and now this is all within the game. Everything that you see on the screen when you play is within the game. The lab is an area that you can teleport into and wander around and see what they've done with the different redstone and computer blocks and stuff like that. It's just nuts. The size of the background area and all of the things that they had in there to make this work was just completely insane. But whether it's 2D Minecraft inside a chest inside of Minecraft, or Legend of Zelda, or even the Harry Potter one that I've seen, where they recreated or I should say created a lot of the famous Harry Potter locations to run around in Minecraft. It's cool that people are still creating this kind of stuff, and I kind of fell out of Minecraft a little bit for myself, but after picking up a VR headset, I've kind of been getting back into it a little bit again, just because it's kind of neat to feel like you're actually kind of in that world. It's just fun to run around. And speaking of old things, well, if you use Ubuntu and haven't yet upgraded to version 19.10, I don't myself use Linux, so I'm not sure if this is an upcoming version or if it's already out, but if you have a bunch of old games on Steam, you may want to hold off on updating. Basically what they're saying is Steam has come out and said that they will not be supporting or recommending the OS from versions 19.10 and on. This is basically because what has happened is that the OS itself is dropping support. Well, it's dropping out the 32-bit packages and libraries. So anything that required these packages and libraries that was a 32-bit software that would still run inside of a 64-bit OS with those packages in will now not run. And I know I saw on Twitter there were some folks that were really upset about that and saying, oh, well, you know, screw Steam, I'm not going to buy games on Steam anymore. Problem with that is, it's not just Steam. They, in fact, even went to Good Old Games, GOG Galaxy, and tried several games that they had in their library there to see if they would work, and none of those worked either. So there is a possibility that there will be community packages that will be available, made by the community, that you can load into the OS and might hopefully allow those things to work. But I would say if you haven't already upgraded and you can stick with the older version for a while, might be better until you decide, you know, which way you want to go as far as whether or not you want to upgrade, and it doesn't matter to you if you want to look at a different version of Linux. Steam has already come out and said that in addition to no longer supporting that, they're looking into other options for Linux moving forward, but they don't know yet, or at least they're not saying yet, what version of Linux, or I should say of the Linux operating system, that they will be recommending going forward. Now, realistically, I mean, this happens sooner or later. You know, older technology, older software, it's just, you know, it's going to get left behind. It's not going to work. And if you really want to run those things, then you might need to dual boot your system. And if you're running Linux, I'm sure you can figure that out, because it's really, from what I understand, not that complicated. Hell, Windows has even made it easy and not too complicated to dual boot. So, you know, that may be a way to do it, is just put the older version on there, and then if you want to run with a newer version of something for all your new stuff, there you go. You got it. And speaking of canceling things, in a response to, well, I'll say this is an update to a story that G and I talked about on Friday. So in a response to the petition online that this group has demanded that Netflix cancel Good Omens, they have come out and said, okay, we promise not to make any more. So they're canceling Good Omens. And why I'm laughing when I say this is because it was never on Netflix to begin with. So if you missed the episode on Friday, basically what it was is there's a Christian group that's very upset, that's basically saying that it kind of marginalizes Satan and makes fun of the Bible and God. And there's a lot of humor within it for sure. And, you know, whether you're extremely faithful or not, look, it's a TV show. It's not the first one. It's not the last one. And things like this only get it more popularity. So if you really don't like it, whatever. But it is hilarious that they seem to think that it was on Netflix. Just made me think that they probably watched part of a promo for it and didn't even stick around to the end of the commercial, and they were already out on it before they even really knew what was going on. But another hilarious part to this is that Amazon actually responded to the Netflix tweet and said, hey, Netflix, we'll cancel Stranger Things if you cancel Good Omens. So, you know, it's funny because, you know, it's these two big companies, or at least whoever's running the PR and the Twitter accounts for the two companies, that are just kind of, you know, having some fun with this. And you know what? Why not? The internet needs all the humor it can get, especially with all the other, you know, negative BS we seem to see off and on. So anyway, that has been our Monday update. As always, a like is appreciated. Subscribe if you like what we're doing here, whether you're seeing this on YouTube or Facebook. And hit us up in the comments. Come find us on Twitter at Bamsters_. That's at BAMMSTERS_. Without the underscore was already taken when we were setting that up somehow. But that is the one where you can find us. As always, thanks for sticking with me. And I will catch you later this Wednesday. If we can get Bam into the office and strap him to the chair, we will have our upcoming game segment. If it doesn't hit on Wednesday, it may be delayed a day, but we'll see. We're going to try and see if we can still make that happen. Until then, this is Drac, and I'm out.
Exiting sublight. Mission complete.